This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West Podcast with your host, Brandon Cook and Nick Harrington.
And welcome back to the Hockeytown West Podcast, your source for everything Grand Rapids Griffins and Toledo Walleye hockey. I am one of your hosts, Brandon.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Travis.
And this episode today was supposed to be just welcoming new Toledo Walleye defenseman Jalen Smereck to the team, but we are recording this on Friday, August 30th. And if you're in the hockey world, you know there was some sad, tragic news today that we've got to talk about a little bit at least. So last night, Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew Gaudreau were killed by a drunk driver while they were out biking the night before their sister's wedding. It's an unbelievable tragedy that, unfortunately, the Columbus Blue Jackets organization's already seen one in the past few years, and here we are seeing another one again, and this one just totally shocked the hockey world. And I know all three of us we struggled with this today. It was a struggle to even come in and record today and do this, and we are excited to be able to talk about hockey with Jalen Smereck and talk about some exciting things with him, and that'll be the bright spot of the day. But I know you guys both agree this is probably one of the saddest days in hockey we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's really sad. You never want to wake up to this kind of news. Or, I mean, when I woke up this morning, I had gone to bed fairly early compared to you guys, and I was like, what are you guys talking about in our group message? And I woke up and I was just like, oh my God, please don't be true. And then an hour later, it was all confirmed, and you just feel really bad for the families. I mean, everybody involved. Gaudreau's, any family member, brothers, sisters. I mean, especially a sister, day before her wedding. I mean, it's just, I couldn't imagine the heartbreak. You know, they're all fathers, their sons, their husbands, their dads. Yeah, it's just there's really no words other than just it's very sad. And the hockey world, man, they show their support through tough times, and I think that's been well documented and shown today by a lot of people.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy 15, 18 hours so far. So I mean, we saw the first rumor last night, and we were up pretty late, me and Brandon, and just waiting for the confirmation or the unconfirmed. I don't know, just to figure out what the report was, what was happening. So it's just heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking to see that an individual has taken two people's lives with just terrible decisions of drinking and driving, and driving recklessly. And then today shows no remorse is the things that kind of gets to me. Besides what Travis has already touched on of sister's wedding was today. They were supposed to be celebrating something today. They were supposed to be celebrating adding family. And today they're mourning the loss of two. And it's not just that for the family, the immediate family, but you've got two brothers, you've got two kids now that and a third on the way that are going to grow up without a dad. Just because somebody decided to get behind the wheel and drink and drive. I know a lot of the Red Wings fans, one thing that's touched me for a long time was when the incident with Konstantinov. I mean, drunk driving, celebrating a Stanley Cup victory, and then that happens. That's always stuck with me. And I hopefully this helps change more people, and people either call an Uber or call somebody to come pick them up, or just don't make those decisions. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, there's no excuse nowadays for drunk driving. There's so many options to get home safely. And, in my opinion, if you can't afford the $20 Uber to get home safe, if you're going to go out and make those decisions, you don't go out. You stay home, have a couple beers at home, and you just don't make that decision. Look what that did to somebody's life. So, but like you touched on, Travis, the hockey world has come out and shown its support and love for the Gaudreau family in ways that I've never seen before. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. The memories that are being shared about both Matthew and Johnny are stories I've never heard, and some videos I've never seen. And then, of course, seeing the highlight reels being shared of Johnny's goals. Everyone knows the one where, for BU winning the championship there, and then his Game 7 overtime winner in Calgary to beat Dallas and move on to the second round of the playoffs. those highlights forever. And one that stuck out to me too, there was a video of him just talking about why he decided to sign in Columbus, and it was the fans there. And, the fans always feel like a good player comes and they leave and everything. And he was very prideful on him and, at the time, Patrick Laine coming there and staying there and going to do something special together. And it just sucks, man. I want to remember all the good memories of them, but this is just a tough day. It's a tough day in hockey. And yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I'm not the best with this stuff. We normally aren't. So
yeah, where's Tyler when you need him?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Like it just sucks. It just sucks. It's terrible.
What we will say is, there is a GoFundMe out there for the family, and one of our partners, Everything Hockey, is, they created a T-shirt memorializing both players out there. It's $22. Go pick it up. 100% of the proceeds do go towards the GoFundMe as well. So we appreciate them coming out and doing that. They acted very fast. The shirt's already up for sale. You can order it. I already picked one up for myself, and yeah, just do whatever you can to support the family and, hug your loved ones and tell them you love them. And life's short, man. It's cruel and short. It's crazy.
But that just kind of shows that life is so precious and so valuable, and you're not guaranteed tomorrow, and it can be taken from anybody at any time. And to just, you got to live every day to the fullest. I mean, it's just, it's something that's said all the time, but it's such a true statement.
With that, though, before I have a breakdown recording this, we'll move on. And yeah, just again, our thoughts, condolences, love, and strength go out to the families and everyone involved, fans, friends, families, everybody. We're sorry. But we'll try to move on and make this a little bit more of a positive episode here. And the first thing I'll notice is, Travis, you have a new background, dude. And it looks sick.
Yeah, so it's been an adventure. Joined you guys last year. Brandon, you just said he joined a podcast like a year after it starts, and you got like this crazy setup going. And it was just an idea. Like I had to start finishing this basement at some point and join you guys, and it kind of gave me what am I gonna do in here? I guess so. The idea to make it look like a hockey arena just was a perfect fit, and now I think the whole basement's gonna end up looking like this.
Yeah, I know you're not 100% done, but you got the boards behind you, you got the wall, you got the dasher boards below you. You can't see those on camera right now. Obviously, the sick jerseys set up all around you in there, and I'm sure it's going to be filled with more and more hockey memorabilia as time goes on. But it looks sick. I like it, and man, it makes my apartment setup really look inferior to both of you guys. But one day we'll figure this out. But I think with that's all we got for a show intro. We're going to do a quick ad break, and then we're going to jump over to talking to Jalen Smereck, which, we're getting ready to do right now in real time. And I'm so excited to talk to this guy and get to know him and welcome him to Toledo. So quick, Nick, go read the first ad. And when we come back, Jalen Smereck.
NFL Week 1 is here, and a new season means new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking a player to score a touchdown. Currently, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown at plus 700 to score 2+ touchdowns. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own? Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the best place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus premium on us. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Will Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. cdkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
And welcome back, everyone. We are thrilled to, I think, officially be the first podcast to welcome Jalen Smereck to Toledo. The defenseman's joining the team this year after a crazy season with Cincinnati Cyclones last year, putting up over 70 points last season, absolutely dominating, and we are absolutely thrilled to have him join the team. We were just chatting a little bit before we started here about how excited we are to have you on the team. But officially, man, welcome to the Toledo Walleye. How are you doing?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm doing good, man. I'm just, I'm happy. Don't have to go too far. I'm basically in Toledo already. I'm at home in Detroit, but, it's just up the road. So, it's nice. It's just a great feeling.
That's good, man. How's your summer been, though? You guys been doing anything fun? Any fun vacations, anything like that?
No vacations really. I went kind of ran some hockey camps out in Jersey, so I was on the road for about 3 weeks. Went to Jersey, went to Buffalo a little bit for a few days, Cleveland, did a couple other spots. So that's about it. Other than that, I've been home, trying to stay busy, spend some time with the kids, man, and just, catch up with the kids. That's probably the biggest thing, as you go away every year for hockey. They only get to come down so much. They live here in Detroit. They go to school. So, when I come home, I pretty much try to dedicate all my time to them.
That's awesome. We're excited to get to know you here during this. Nick and I we live up in Grand Rapids here. We started this podcast covering the Grand Rapids Griffins and then saw the craziness that is the Toledo Walleye fan base. And we're like, yep, we got to be a part of this. We got to do something with this. Got Travis to join the show. He lives down there in Toledo. So we're excited to get to know you and talk about this. I'm going to throw it to Nick for the first question.
Yeah, so being from Detroit, it's not really a big city known for like youth hockey, I would say, right? So kind of tell us like what you like, how your experience was, and like how did that shape you as like a player and an individual, just growing up in Detroit playing hockey?
It was tough. There's pros and cons, definitely. Mainly being, the only black player on the team, and going to school getting teased about playing hockey, and I still played basketball, baseball. Never played football because of hockey, but I would definitely talk about it with my friends and play it for fun. And they all wanted me to come play quarterback and stuff like that. And I always wanted to, but it was just like, man, I'm dedicated to hockey. So I've been dedicated to hockey ever since I started skating at 2. And then in 9th grade, I kind of quit, basketball and baseball. And, it was just kind of something that I wanted to stick with. I mean, for pretty much my whole career of youth hockey, I played for Little Caesars. My last couple of years, I played for Oakland Junior Grizzlies. My two midget major years or 2 midget years, and just playing for such an amazing organization and Little Caesars, getting to go to the Brick tournament, getting to go to the Quebec tournament, just experiences most kids don't get to do, and it's just something that I'm thankful for. I mean, those pens are still in my dresser. I still look at them every day. I still think they're cool as hell. It's just the memories and the stuff that I see. I mean, even this year, what was it? Jimmy Howard's team won the Brick. I'm watching those highlights. I'm like, hey, this is crazy, man. Like, there's no way we're this good when we're younger. Like, these kids are insane. Some of the highlights that I was seeing from that. But no, man, it's been unreal. And I don't think, I'd rather be from anywhere else, man. I grew up in the city, east side of Detroit. Been in the same house pretty much my whole life. My parents have, lived here, and I just think, it's kind of built me for my career as a hockey player and just kind of built me as a human, as a person, and as a man.
How did you start skating? You said you started at 2?
Yeah, my 2 older brothers played, and my dad was coaching them. So I was kind of just always around the rink, and then they threw me out there. I started crying a little bit. And, I had no choice to get off, so I just kind of made it into a job for I fell in love with it, fell in love with the game, and just started to enjoy it. I'm actually right-handed when I started playing, but my brother was a lefty, and I would always play with his sticks around the rink. So I switched from righty to lefty because I was using his stick so much, and I became left-handed. I think around like 4 or 5. So it's pretty crazy.
So are you both sides then?
Not in hockey, no. Like I'm not bad, but I wouldn't be able to I haven't done it enough to be able to play right and left. But I was a switch hitter in baseball and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I was a righty when I first started playing and then became a lefty. So I'm pretty even-handed.
What are some of the people that inspired you the most throughout your hockey journey, and what lessons have you taken from them?
I mean, I gotta say Nick Lindstrom. Just growing up
from
in
Detroit, it makes sense.
Yeah, just growing up in Detroit, man. Being a hockey player, being a fan of the Wings, and just watching the perfect human play the game. It's just like there's nothing that he could do wrong. The way that just even playing for Little Caesars and kind of getting to see those guys a little bit and kind of see a little bit behind the scenes, and just kind of how they live and things that they're doing, which is kind of cool. PK Subban, just the passion that he played with, the love that he had for the game, and just kind of seeing him and his brothers, growing up and playing, and some of the tournaments all over the world, and you go and you see Malcolm playing, or I would see Jordan playing, and just kind of, I don't know, just for the most part, my brother, watching him chase his dreams, he was one of my biggest role models, and I followed him everywhere he'd go. I didn't have to go to practice or a game. I was definitely at his practice or a game. Kind of how I met Hawk, actually. Him and my brother played in the same organization. My brother's 3 years older than him, and Hawk's 3 years older than me. So, I just go to my brother's practices, and they kind of shared a split locker room and had the same coach. And, it was just history from there. I was always in the locker room talking to the guys, chirping the guys, and on the ice with both teams. So, just building a relationship and a bond with, all those guys, and hanging out with all his friends and just wanting to be like him.
I like that. Now, you're a big community guy. We've looked into it a little bit. You spend a lot of time giving back to the community. What drives your passion for community service, and are there any specific causes that you're particularly dedicated to?
The most specific thing, just, trying to feed the less fortunate, and provide them with, some clothes. I'm starting to get more clothes now, and just trying to get back. And the other part of it is just teaching inner city kids, or introducing inner city kids in hockey, and just trying to get them to have that experience, and try to give them opportunity that most kids don't get, and that I was very thankful that I got when I was younger. I think the biggest thing for me is just being able to go out there and just being thankful, I think, is the biggest thing. Kind of keeps you humble, keeps you in a great place, kind of hearing some of their stories and relating to them, and just trying to do something, that isn't about me. And that's kind of how I came up with the name, Not Me, You. When I go out, people ask, who are you and what do you do? And it's more so, I tell them who I am and what I do, but I don't really want to talk about me. We want to kind of talk about each other and not make this all about me, and, just share a bond and create some memories, and just try to help people as much as I can. And I mean, as far as the kids, like, man, it's the kids are probably the best part of it. Cause some of them, like the last time I did a skate, I had probably 25 kids out there on the ice, and, I took them to the ice rink, and they're like, man, it's cold in here. And they're like, I don't want to go out there, it's summertime, right? So they got their shorts on, t-shirts. They weren't really expecting the freezing cold ice rink. And, I end up getting them all out there, and they're like, some of them are like, all right, this is cool. Like, as soon as they get out there, and some of them are like, all right, I hate this. Like, get me off. And I'm like, closing the door. I'm like, nope, not letting you off. I'm like, you can go sit on the bench and freeze if you want to, or you can take this chair and skate around with it and try to learn. I had some people help me, and I was like, or you can, skate around one of the helpers. And by the end of, the hour and a half, whatever the case may be, they're like, hey, like, when are we coming back? Can we do this again? Like, that was awesome. Like, I was freezing the whole time, but I had so much fun, and, and they're just so happy, man. And I think that's just the biggest thing of, I tell them, I say, hey, like, you don't have to make this a living, you don't have to, do this or pursue this like I did, but, here's a great hobby just to get away from work, whatever you, decide end up doing for the rest of your life, or even if you just want to go out with your friends, after school or something. Here's a great hobby to add to your list, and there's something to do that, say, you could, scratch off your bucket list and have fun with.
That's awesome. That's gotta be such a good feeling, man. I love that.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, and it's just like, well, in Cincinnati, I was, working with the class there, and I was going to see them, man. And one of the fans ended up making some T-shirts for the class, and it said like Jalen's class on it, and had my number on the back. And I pulled the T-shirts out, man, and it still gets me a little emotional. But one of the kids he like started screaming and crying. He's like, yes, like, this is the best gift ever. And I was, I had a couple of my teammates there with me, and it was just unreal. Like, I couldn't have been more happier, and I couldn't have been more excited to, see that response from, him and all the rest of the kids.
That's really cool.
I'm hoping you're here long enough with us in Toledo that you could start kind of maybe like, I remember in one of the interviews that I listened to from you is that you wanted to start a class in like each age group. So maybe, sign that multi-year with Toledo, and we could get you a class at each age group. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I definitely look forward to coming, being a big part of community. Like I said, that's one of the things that I really take pride in. And, it's kind of nice that I'm, so close to home. I'll be able to still kind of take care of my city, and Toledo is like my city as well too, because it's so close to home, right? So I feel like that's kind of my home too, and I'll be able to kind of give back as much as I can.
You were mentioning hobbies. What do you like to do outside of hockey? Like, what else are you passionate about besides giving back to the community?
I think the biggest thing is I'm a gamer, man. I'm a gamer 24/7. If I'm not with my kids or, not playing hockey or I'm not giving back to the community, I'm at home. I'm not really a partier anymore. I don't really go out. I really don't do any of that anymore. I kind of calm down, and I'm just kind of a homebody, man. I like to be in my own space and just relax and turn the AC on and freeze and just play the game, man. It gets sweaty. Just get sweaty, man. That's all I can say. Yeah,
What are you
I'm
playing?
a bowler too, though, for sure. I play COD, 2K. I don't play CHO anymore. I kind of gave up that dream 5 years ago. It was kind of just getting old, man. Same old, same old. So just mainly COD and 2K right now.
That's
Some bowling
awesome.
too?
Yeah, I'm a big bowler too. I don't know, man. That's something that I take real serious. I'll go and I'll bet some money, or I like to have fun with it. Yeah,
Like, how
I'm pretty.
good?
I'm not that good. Maybe like on a good game, like 200, just above 200. I don't really go that much anymore, but there's a time where I would go at least once or twice a month. Probably definitely will start getting back into that, man. That's one of the things that I definitely love. My mom and my brother were in bowling leagues when I was growing up, so I was always around the bowling alley as well. And it's just something I think is a fun sport, man. And I mean, I don't know if I'm good enough for a bowling league, but I'm definitely going to start practicing, because it's definitely something that I want to get into.
You're definitely good enough. I was on one. I'm not that good.
Yeah. No, man. I know people tell me I'm good enough, but I feel like I want to go in there and like, I hate losing, man. Like it drives me crazy. So like I'll start, chucking balls down the gutter, and I just hate to see, what I do if I, start losing. Those bowling balls are pretty heavy, and I'm not saying I throw one at anybody or anything, but I don't want to be putting any holes in the floor because I'm mad at myself or anything like that. So yeah, no, I just need to put some more time into it and practice a little bit more, and then I'll join a league.
Sounds like we need to get you and Hawkins in a bowling alley together.
Man, I honestly, that sounds like something that he'd be good at. I
I know he's a golfer, but
yeah, no, I can't golf, man. That's like I said, I hate losing, and that's way too frustrating of a sport. I've only played one round of 18 in my entire life. 2 years ago in Cincinnati at the end of the year, boys got together at the end of the year, and we went out and we played what is it, scramble?
best ball.
Yep.
Yeah, best ball. And
Yeah.
I mean, like that was fine, but still, I was like, it's frustrating, man. That's a sport you got to have patience with, and that's just not something that I could do.
Me neither.
Oh, that's great.
And those golf clubs are pretty expensive too. I mean, I can't afford to be breaking those things and trying to. Nah, that's not it.
Looking ahead, what are some of your like personal and professional goals, both hockey and in life in general? And are there particular milestones or achievements that you're aiming for?
Oh man, I mean, with hockey, one of the biggest things, especially playing the ECHL, I did want to, coming in the last year, I really look forward into just, being the top defenseman, finishing first in points, being the, winning defenseman of the year. I was kind of shocked about that, but everything happens for a reason. And, I still got, a few years left in me, and, that's still on, top of the leaderboards. But the main thing for me is just that I want to win, man. I want to win at a professional level. I never won in juniors, never won at a pro level. Haven't really played too much playoff hockey. Made it to the second round 2 years ago. The one COVID year, I was in Tucson. We had a pretty good squad, and I think we're in first, and we ended up, having to not forfeit the season, but the season got, ended because of COVID. And, I was really looking forward to, making playoffs there and playing there. And, I played playoffs. Well, I think we made the first round when I was in Flint. So main thing for me is just wanting to play playoff hockey and wanting to win a championship, man. And, I just want to be able to say that I won on a professional level. And I think that's one of the biggest things is, like I said, winning is important to me and not going out as a winner. I won't say if I win, I'm going to retire, but, definitely, it's something that, I want to do for, the rest of my career. If I could win every year, I want to give myself the best chance to do that. And I'm going to put my all into it to, give my team the best chance to do that. And, as far as life, I just want to try to make an impact and just, be a great person. I'm trying to, get together some kids and get together the group, just mentor, the next generation and the upcoming players and stay around the game, man, and just pass down, all of my knowledge and everything that I've learned and kind of been through to kind of help, the next generation be the best that they can be. And as much as I can help and, touch the game, that's what I want to do.
Basically, what I gathered from that I like to win aspect is when you do win it all in Toledo here, you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to go do that again. And we're going to do it again and again. Like that's going to be your attitude with it 100%.
That's definitely what, me and Hawk, one of the first things, that we talked about is, man, I want to win. And, we're going to play here as long as we can and bring as many championships as we can, in that time. So, I look forward to, calling this home and bringing some trophies back to this place.
Heck yeah, man. So coming into a new locker room, how do you describe yourself as a teammate and like your characteristics that you bring to the table with your leadership with this team? Like what can we expect to see when you join that locker room officially?
Just another voice, man. I like to be, I'm a loud guy. I'm a vocal guy. I'm an energy guy. With or without a letter, doesn't matter to me. I'm the same guy. I like to have the puck on my stick. I like to consider myself as a quarterback, in any way that I can help or any way that I can learn. Or I'm a sponge, man. I'm a sponge. And, I also try to give out as much as I can take in and try to help everyone around and just try to have that good spirit, have that good locker room. And, I'm definitely a team bonding guy. Hopefully we got some good events planned. I'm sure we will once we get together, plan some good fun events, and just, building family, man. And I think it's important, when you come in that rink that you're a family in that locker room and, those are your brothers. You're going to spend, majority of the year with them. So, you might as well get to know each other and, you got to have fun with it. You don't want to come in the rink and dwell or be down or hate it. You got to enjoy it, man. And you got to have fun with it. And you don't want to be that guy that, brings the bad vibes to the locker room.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be an issue with you.
No, not from what I've gathered.
Oh, man. I just, I like to chirp a little bit too, nothing too crazy, just, keep guys on their toes a little bit. So hopefully, there's some first year friends that we can mess with a little bit, do some, some rookie, like rookie sing, rookie, what do you call it? Rookie anthem. And, and I always get up there, I sing a song or rap a song, man. I'm all for it. And, anything they do, I'm always one of those guys that like to chime in. Rookie Idol is probably my favorite. I go classic Fetty Wap every time. And I think I've been singing Fetty Wap ever since my USHL days, man. It's one of my go-tos on karaoke. So just looking forward to that, man. Honestly, the bus trips and, like I said, just having fun with the boys and getting to know each other.
I hope there's video of this when it happens.
I'll make sure someone records it for you. I don't know if we can get it out there, but might be able to send you a text or something and send it over to you.
It's probably going to come from Hawk, to be honest.
I'll make sure. I'll make sure it's good too. Make sure I drink some tea and get the vocals ready. And I'm dialed up, man.
He takes it serious. I like it.
Yeah. No, man. Ricky, or just. Karaoke's my thing, man. I like to sing. I love music.
So you end up with Flint. What, when you were traded there, what were your initial impressions of the team and what the city was like?
For me, I'm just a family guy. I was just, happy that my family is going to be able to come, to pretty much every home game, and they're going to be able to see me play, as much as they could. That was pretty much the main thing for me. And, I just, I love the city. I love the people. I love the atmosphere. I love the the biggest thing for me. I mean, I had a no trade clause on my deal, and as soon as they called me, I mean, it was pretty much no hesitation. My D coach from Oshawa as well that year came over, and I was able to build a great relationship with him the year that I was in Oshawa, and he was coming to Flint as well. So when I found those two things out, there's nothing else that I really needed to think about. But once I got to Flint, man, everything was great. The facility was great. You know, they treated us top of the line. You know, we got everything we wanted and everything we needed. I mean, the weight room was outstanding. You know, we had a shooting room, like just stuff that, you know, you don't see in most junior locker rooms, even some pro locker rooms. You know, I think they have a better facility than some of the pro teams I've been on or some of the pro locker rooms that I've seen. You know, it was just a great choice for me. It was a no-brainer.
When that happens, do you end up moving from your billet family to another billet family like mid-season?
What's that? When you
Like
when
when
you
you
traded?
when you got traded? Was
Yeah,
it
I
in
got
season?
traded during the summer. No, I got traded during the summer. But yeah, no, I mean in season, yeah, you definitely are switching billet families and going from one house to another, man, and that can be the tough part sometimes. Flint and Oshawa, they did a great job of just making sure that you know, the families were, you know, well up to par, and fortunate enough to get two great billet families in Flint. I had a really outstanding billet family in Oshawa. I mean, even in my time in the USHL, I was fortunate enough to have a great billet family. So I don't have any of the crazy billet stories like I'm sure a lot of guys have. I've definitely heard a lot of crazy stories, but yeah, no, I was fortunate enough to get four great families.
Yeah, we haven't asked anybody. I thought of that as we were talking. I'm like, I guess you probably would have had to change families and change housing situations, so that's probably a little complicated.
Yeah, no, it was a little weird coming back to Flint the second year because I was in Tucson up until November. So when I came back, there was already two guys in my billet house from before. So I had to move into a new one, and that was kind of weird. I was like, wow, I thought I was going to go back to the same place. You know, I was comfortable there, but the one that I went to was, you know, just as good, and they're great as well. So it worked out perfect.
So jumping around between Tucson and the AHL, Norfolk, and Rapid City, Fort Wayne, what was the transition that you had to go through going from professional hockey coming out of juniors?
It was tough, man. It was tough. I mean, you just, you know, when you come out of juniors, you don't really know too much about the whole situation or how everything works. At least I didn't, you know, and I'm not really one that, you know, I don't have a big friend group where I come from. A lot of crazy stuff that goes on, so I try to keep a small circle. And like I said, I'm kind of a loner. I don't like to stay to myself. So I didn't know too many people or talk to too many people kind of about the ropes and the way kind of the pro lifestyle was. When I moved up to the pro lifestyle, it was kind of challenging, you know, just thinking you're going, oh, I'm going to, you know, go play in Arizona and I'm going to be in the American League and, you know, I'm going to be, you know, chasing the dream on my way to the NHL. And, you know, you find out there's ECHL and you find out, you know, you're going to be sent down, you're going to be moving back and forth. And, you know, once you get settled in one place, it's going to be time to probably get called up or get set down. And it was kind of like just, you know, it was never a time where I could really get situated and really take it all in. You know, every time, you know, I was starting to get comfortable or I was kind of getting a hold of things, you know, there was a change being made. So, you know, it was definitely tough. It was definitely challenging. And unfortunately, you know, there's three different affiliates all 3 years. Like you said, Fort Wayne the first year, Rapid City the second year, and then, or Norfolk the second year, and then Rapid City the third year. And, you know, just lots of plane rides, man. That's all I can say. It was weird. I think, you know, the weirdest part was going from Arizona wearing shorts to the rink and you know, getting sent down to Rapid City, and now you're in Timberlands and a winter coat, and you're shivering in the middle of nowhere, you know, in South Dakota. And, you know, but it definitely, you know, it was a great journey. I'm thankful for it. And, you know, I just, you know, I can't, you know, there's nothing I can complain about. You know, it kind of made me who I am today. And that's part of, you know, the stuff that I try to pass down to the next generation and kind of get them ready for. And, you know, that's some of the things that I can help with, you know, in the locker room as well when guys get sent down, and kind of knowing that feeling of being on an entry level deal and being sent down and being new to pro hockey lifestyle and all that stuff. So take notes, man, and like I said, try to pass it down to the next generation.
Yeah, it's always good to have a leader like that in the room, especially at that level. So I like that your approach to that. Now, obviously, coming to Toledo, you've played in Toledo and with Cincinnati, and you've experienced the fan base. You've experienced the craziness that is the Huntington Center. Are you ready for Toledo? Are you excited? Are you ready to go?
I can't say that I'm ready, man. Not saying that in a bad way. I've only seen it from, the visiting side. I also seen it during the All-Star game that year. But I mean, I got high hopes for it, and I know it's gonna be great. But like, I think it's gonna be even crazier than I'm expecting, man. And I know like those fans are awesome, and they're diehard for their players, and they're all about their players. So I mean, like I said, I got high hopes, but I know they're gonna put more on top of that, and come even harder than I think they're gonna come, and they're just gonna be amazing. And I'm just excited to get started, and I can't wait, for that first goal to happen, and that first, yeah,
First hit somebody.
that first rush and that first, that first fill, and just can't wait to take it all in.
You're not the first division rival to leave a team and come to Toledo, and I feel like you'll be just as embraced by everybody as the previous ones were. I think the one that really stood out was Pat Nagel. He came from Fort Wayne, ends up in Toledo, and then everybody loves him. So I'm expecting the same thing with you coming from Cincinnati. I know I'm excited.
Yeah, no, and definitely, man, I can't agree with him more. I mean, I've got nothing but love on social media, even not being on Toledo last year. In the past few years, I've got love from Toledo fans. And I got numerous messages of come play for Toledo. You should be on the Walleye, and those stories and messages. But I've got nothing but love and outstanding support since I've signed in Toledo, and that's been released. It was even kind of crazy because I felt like I was some like celebrity or like KD or LeBron James going through free agency. Like people, I came down to Toledo and seen the facility, when I signed, and came to meet coach, and people were messaging me like, hey, like, is it true you're signing Toledo? I'm like, what the hell? Did someone see me walk in the rink or something? Like, am I being watched by TMZ or something? Like, what's going on here? It was crazy, man. But no, it's awesome, man. I can't thank the fans enough for the support.
I think Pat had told us that you were on, like he had recruited you, like he was talking to you, he told us the day that you signed, he was in town for your signing. So we were excited once we had talked to him. I think it was like 2 days after. So how was that like experience, I guess?
How was that? Just like going down there and seeing the facility? Yeah. No, it was great, man. I like I said, I kind of seen a little bit of it, like the locker room and stuff, for the All-Star game. But I didn't get the full rundown, and going through there and seeing seeing the facility and seeing what the team has to offer, and all the stuff that they have for the players. I mean, it's outstanding, man, and definitely top level stuff, and it's stuff that guys don't even get in the American League, and maybe some guys don't even get it in the NHL, man. It's unreal. So I'm nothing more than excited. I mean, I'm ready to get started, man. It's been a long summer. I wish this season would have started 2 months ago. Honestly, I'm just ready to get going.
We kind of shot this question to you before we were recorded, but we want to ask for the listeners is Toledo shared a photo of you and Hawkins on their page with the announcement of you coming over. How much influence did he have on you coming to Toledo?
I won't say he really influenced me. I mean, he definitely, we talked about it before.
Yeah, don't give him too much credit.
Yeah, no. He definitely, it's nothing that, he would say, all the time or anything like that, because, he's happy for me, just wherever I am. But there's been times where he has, we talk about it, and we talked about it a little bit at the All-Star game, and he kind of told me a little bit about Toledo, and, I was telling him before too, like, I'd love to play with you sometime, brother. And, when they lost, I actually texted him, and I'm like, hey, man, like, we got to talk. Like, and he was like, he just responded back, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you a call, when I get a chance. And I was like, just, I know you guys just lost. Just give me a call next week or whatever. And, he called me next week and I'm like, hey, man, like, I think it's time for us to play together. I think I want to come to Toledo and I want to win. And he was like, hey, man, like, season just ended. We just kind of have to wait on all the, rules and stuff to, go through. And I'll, once all that stuff goes by, I'll reach out to coach and let him know and, pass along your information. And, we stayed in touch for the next couple months or whatever. And, after that, we kind of started conversing and the rest was history, man.
Another addition that Toledo made this offseason that you got to play against quite a bit in the division was Chaz Redekop. And I just kind of want to know what it's going to be like sharing the blue line sometimes with him back there and what it was like playing against him and what's it going to be like to be his teammate this year.
Man, I'm looking forward to it because, I think, 12 times? I want to say 12 or maybe even 14, man. I don't even know what it is. We play, you play some of these teams so much, but we played Kalamazoo, 12 or 14 times, man. And it was just straight blood bath every time. Not many fights, but chirping and, everything else that comes with it. I remember me and him actually had a little chirp session in the second period in Toledo or in Cincy, sorry. The last time we played Kalamazoo at home last year. And, it's just going to be great to get together and laugh about those sessions and just look back on that. But, he's unreal, man. What he brings to the table is what every team needs, and he was a great leader for Kalamazoo last year. And I know he's a great leader. He's a great guy from, everything that I've heard. I've never talked to him off the ice, but I'm definitely looking forward to, meeting him and bonding with him as well. And, just learning from him also, just trying to be better on both sides of the puck, trying to learn as much as I can and take some things out of his game and, add them to mine and kind of feed off each other and just have fun, man.
Heck yeah.
I just got one more from me, really. You were talking last season. You were a part of a very historic night last year with Cincinnati. You were joined by your teammates, I hope I say their names correctly, Kyle Bowlers, Josh Burnside, Elijah Gunslaves. To be the first ever lineup of 5 skaters, all to be black players. What was that like? How did that come to? I mean, did your head coach, Jason Payne, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys all approach him with the idea and I'm
No.
sure it was a special night.
No, we had no idea.
Oh, really?
He told me the night before, but none of the players had any idea. Elijah Gonzalez came from college. He's at RIT. And Elijah Bowlers also came from college. He was at Toronto or whatever. Yeah, he was playing CIS though. And once he came, Elijah came, I think 2 weeks after or so. And we were actually playing in Kalamazoo that night. And Jason called me in the office to talk. And he said, we got Elijah coming in and, we're going to start 5 black players tomorrow. And it's going to be great. And we just talked about it a little bit. And then I think the guys actually might have found out from, I think ESPN or Kevin Weeks posted it or something earlier in the day. I think that's how most of the guys found out. We actually didn't really know, or they didn't know until kind of everything started to happen and unravel.
So you leaked it to Kevin Weeks?
I guess so, huh? No. Jason and Kevin have a great relationship, so he was actually the Woj on that one and leaked that to him. But no, man, that was a great experience. Like I said before, just being the only black player on the team my whole life. Only time I ever played with another one was, for spring tournaments and stuff like that. Just having that memory and having that moment to share with those guys. And, it was actually kind of crazy. We played in the ozone, I think, for a minute. And I want to say a solid minute. We were in the ozone pretty much the whole time. And we were just, massaging the puck, passing it around. And we had a few scoring chances. So, it was an unforgettable moment we actually came to the bench and I started laughing. I was like, wow, like that was crazy. Like, not only did we just start, but we just, dominated the first minute. That was just a unreal experience. And, it just, it was also great to be able to throw the first pitch at the Reds game with those guys and, go out on the field for that. So,
I mean, it took the hockey world by storm.
Yeah, no, it was actually kind of crazy, the messages and love that we're receiving, after that happened.
No, that was a really cool experience to see, and I'm glad they got to pull that off, and I'm glad you got to be a part of it. Last thing I'm going to ask for me, man, just as you're heading into this season, what's your message to the fans? If you could look them all in the face right now in Toledo, what's your message as we come into this season as we get ready to have your first game as a Toledo Walleye?
It's going to be a long year, and, just looking forward to bringing that trophy home at the end of the season. That's the only thing on my mind right now. I just want to have a winning season and win the division, and go and win the trophy, man. That's it.
Heck yeah. I'm sure the fans are excited to have you. We're excited to have you. We can't wait to see what this season becomes, but thank you again for taking the time to do this. Again, welcome to Toledo. We are super excited, man, but enjoy the rest of the off season here and hopefully get a little bit more relaxing time in and get some more Call of Duty time in before it starts, and you get to enjoy it.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me on, man. Hopefully next time I can charge the AirPods up and everything.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Thank you again.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's something you'd love to learn? As an adult, do you make time to learn new things as often as you like, or was that lost in childhood? Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. What's something you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language, or maybe how to finally beat your best friend in bowling? Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because your back-to-school era can come at any age. Therapy can help address anxiety or fear of speaking another language, or help you learn your own personal learning strategy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with licensed therapists and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/THPN today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/THPN.
And welcome back to Just the Three of Us. Thank you again to Jalen Smereck for that. That was sweet to get to know him. We apologize for some technical issues we may have had during that, but at the same time, we make do with the best that we've got in these remote recordings like this. And who knows, maybe we'll get to chat with him in person one of these days down in Toledo. But I want to go through some takeaways from that interview here. We're going to go to Travis first, Mr. T-Town. What was your biggest takeaway from talking to Smereck?
His excitement level and his want to bring a championship, and not only just bring it to Toledo, but for him to just say he's won one. You can tell he wants to win one, and he's come to the right place, I think. I mean, him and Hawkins both have this desire to bring a championship home, not to mention all the other players, but it's just his excitement level to get going. I think he's ready to go. And like you said, he wishes the season could have started earlier, but that was my biggest one. And I just can't wait to see this power play and how many free chilies they're about to give out this year with them two on the same power play.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. And I do love that attitude there. I love the text to Hawk too, as soon as they lost in the playoffs, hey, we got to talk. That cracks me up. And man, all of these guys just want to win, and for themselves and for the city. So it's going to be fun. But Nick, what you got? What's your biggest takeaway?
I didn't really know much about him besides the starting lineup in Cincy. And then when I was looking at his numbers, I was pretty stoked that we got him, because I'm like, this guy and Hawk on the same line, power play, it's going to be nuts. Just the amount of points that he puts up. Biggest takeaway that I took away, besides he wants to win, he's coming here to win the championship. That's huge for us. His favorite player was Nick Lidstrom. That's my favorite player as well. So it's as soon as he said that, I was like, you know what? I committed to not buy too many jerseys this year, but I think I'm gonna have to cut one out for Smereck here. That won me over. So
better start saving now, because it's gonna be, what the price is gonna be.
I hope not. Maybe we can pull some strings.
Doubt it. But yeah, no, those are good takeaways. I mean, my biggest takeaway is just his energy. Like you said, his positivity. You can tell he's an energy guy. When you really get him going, you can see. We had the conversation before we started recording too. the relationship between him and Hawkins is going to be a lot of fun, but he is going to be a voice in that locker room with all the guys there. There's already a great leadership core in Toledo, and Pat Mickish and crew just added a few more voices there. And we said it during the playoffs. A guy like Smereck is possibly the difference maker of this team going to the finals last season. And I think he saw that too, and hence the text to Hawkins, like, we got to talk. So I'm excited and just so thankful again that we had the chance to welcome him to the Walleye and have that conversation with him. It was a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing him down there soon. So
I think the other bizarre thing that I just remembered was he started right-handed and then transitioned to being left-handed. Like, it's quite a transition to make.
I wonder if he regrets that when you look at those contracts and all, like, right D or like the most sought after position in the league now. He's like, crap. But I mean, he seems to be doing pretty well for himself, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But before we wrap up, just a couple ECHL updates, I guess, since we're talking about the Walleye here. The ECHL followed the mandate the AHL put in place, and all players are wearing neck guards going into this season. Shout out to all the equipment managers in both leagues having to scramble and order these quickly. I don't know how many of them already had them on hand, but I did see an article. I think about 12 or 13 of the Walleye players were wearing them last season, and it's good to see them implement it across the league. AHL doing it, ECHL doing it. I think it's only a matter of time before the NHL probably follows suit in the next couple of years. But what do you boys think of it?
All for player safety. I mean, I am so big on this. Like, I want to make sure, like, as a fan, I don't want to see an incident like that of what had happened and why this is being put in place happen again. I mean, we've seen it at least 2 or 3 times in our lifetime where a tragic accident or something that was very close to being tragic happening. So I love this, that they're doing it and they're implementing it. I think next step is going to be the NHL, where they're going to grandfather some of these guys in kind of situation. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Player safety, biggest thing, right? Games getting faster. You know, when the game gets faster, the athletes are flying around out there. Accidents can happen, and anything to prevent an accident is a big thing. You definitely seen it in Toledo last year after the incident overseas happened. There were a lot of the guys that started wearing the either cut resistance or just neck guards in general. Because now, I mean, it's changed so much since I played. When I played, it was like one little like strap that went around your neck, and now they have this cut resistant. Just it's all one piece now. It's not just it almost felt like it choked you at times when you were out there, but you know that it was like something that could save your life. And I think it's a big deal, and it's a great step forward for the sport.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we don't want to see incidents like that occur, and I don't ever want an accident like that to be like a player falls and does that to somebody, and it's some guilt they have to live with based on an accident just from playing the game. Like, any steps taken to avoid that, I'm all in favor for. We're good to go with those. So, but again, poor equipment managers.
Yeah,
I hope they had some on hand to start off with, because there's so many different variations of them too. You know, some players are going to be picky with which ones they're wearing, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off. And I don't know, maybe some teams, when they do some specialty things, can throw some style in there too. Who knows? There's opportunity here to do something cool. But love the player safety aspect. It's good to see. But anything else we want to add to this episode, boys, before we head off into the holiday weekend here?
Not that I can think of. Just, you know, everybody be safe and enjoy a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yep, I second that. Please be safe.
Yep.
Be safe. Take an Uber. Be smart.
Call Brandon if you need it.
I wouldn't call me. No. I'd call Nick. Nick is your more likely one to be able to come pick you up. But anyways, after that, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Again, our thoughts and condolences out to the Gaudreau family, and all the love to all the fans and everyone in that situation. But we'll end this episode with a thank you to our sponsors. Of course, Everything Hockey. Make sure you head over to everythinghockey.com. Pick up their memorial shirt as well, because, again, all the proceeds are going to the Gaudreau GoFundMe. And, of course, our sponsors, DraftKings and BetterHelp, and the Hockey Podcast Network, for hosting us and making us better and better each week. Everybody, have a fantastic week. We will talk to you again on Thursday. And until then, go Griffins, go Walleye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West Podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your host, Nick at GR Hockey Guy and Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey.